Welcome to Chuffin Eck, episode 5, The Ramblings of a 50-something couple from Yorkshire, the talcum powder scandal. So this week on Monday, a US court rejected the pharmaceutical company Johnson & Johnson's bankruptcy strategy to resolve $1 billion in lawsuits that alleged the firm's talc product caused cancer. A decision handed down by the US Third Circuit Court of Appeals in Philadelphia dismissed Chapter 11 petitioned by a recently created J&J subsidiary, LTL Management, to address more than 38,000 lawsuits from plaintiffs alleging the company's baby powder and other talc products cause cancer.
38,000 is ridiculous.
It is. It is. We all know the smell of Johnson's baby powder. We all loved
It
it.
smells lovely, can't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Smells. Any baby. He's got Johnson's on. When I had my son, they give you what's called a bounty pack, and it was full of all this Johnson and Johnson stuff for you to take home, so that you'd hopefully keep on buying it. I didn't. I didn't know this then anyway, but out of my price range, Johnson & Johnson's. So anyway, Johnson & Johnson is the world's largest healthcare company. It's also the highest paid drug company in the world, and it remains at the top of the big pharma list of powerful corporations with more than 82 billion in annual revenue in 2020. It's got many subsidiaries, including Janssen, who made the COVID-19 vaccination, but this is not about that. So what they wanted to do is split their assets from its liabilities, i.e. the people that were alleging the company's baby powder caused cancer obviously wanted to sue. So what Johnson & Johnson thought they'd do is split up their company and put them in this newly created all the liabilities, into the newly created entity called LTL Management, which consequently, as soon as they'd done this, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Meaning they were trying to avoid paying.
They weren't trying to avoid paying. Right. So what J&J wanted to do was split its assets from its liabilities. So it wanted to put more than 38,000 claims on a newly created entity called LTL Management, LLC, which filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. So Johnson & Johnson is one of America's richest companies with a market share of more than 450 billion. By comparison, the newly created LTL Management, LLC, listed its worth at 10 billion. Along with 10 billion in liabilities, according to court documents. The bankruptcy filing is expected to pressure claimants to accept lower settlements than they would have before and avoid any excessive payouts. So they've had to previously pay out people for these cancer claims. So they've paid out millions already. So if they've only got 10 billion that will pay out compensation in this newly created bankrupt now subsidiary, then it's not going to be a lot to share around 38,000 claimants. So what they're doing, they don't want to pay on the full whack.
So if they ordered them to pay, say, 50 million apiece, that's massive.
Yeah.
But instead, they can only share it out between those 38. However many it were.
38,000.
38,000 people take a share of 10 billion.
Yeah. So they've been a bit sneaky about it.
Yeah.
But they haven't got away with it.
Limiting the amount they can pay out.
Yeah.
That basically, they were going to pay out. They were willing to pay out.
Let's be fair. When you're that big and you've got that much money, they're going to take it back to court again. You know they're going to. Because this came about, they got away with it the first time. The first court case said, they could do this bankruptcy protection filing. And then obviously the lawyer for the plaintiffs has said, hey, and no, we're not having this. And it's, you know, the new judge, because they can't go back to the old judge, obviously, has sided with the people that have been harmed. If they have previously paid out people, how could have this happened anyway?
Mm,
Because they've admitted that
yeah,
they're at fault,
exactly.
and the baby powder's at fault. This baby powder has been taken off the market in America. We can get it here still in Britain. We're all right to get cancer here in Britain with it. Yeah, so it's
Maybe
not.
some of our politicians have got shares in that. Then they
Yeah, maybe.
seem to have shares in
Um,
everything. I think.
think it's going to go off the market eventually, but I think it's around here for another 2 to 3 years, maybe still. So if anybody's listening and they've got some, chuck it in the bin. Put it down for ants, something like that. They don't like it either. That's the best place for it, I think.
Yeah.
So no excessive payouts, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Let's hope these people get the money that they deserve. Yeah. So before this bankruptcy filing, they face costs from 3.5 billion in verdicts and settlements, in which 22 women were eventually awarded a judgment of more than 2 billion. So this is why
Mm,
they wanted to limit it at 10.
yeah. Because if you've got 38,000,
Yeah, it's a lot of
yeah,
billions,
yeah.
isn't it? But listen, if they are causing harm to people, they need to be gone anyway.
Mm.
They need to be gone.
Because this isn't the same as what was happening in the 90s with the claim culture, which started over there, which ended up coming over here,
Yeah,
where if you stubbed your toe, you could sue somebody for $1 million,
yeah,
which is what they were doing. Which is it's, that the worst thing about it is cast doubt on the normal person
mm,
on all of these claims that are going in. It's like claims in business when somebody claims for something in a workplace when they've had an accident.
yeah,
Some people just claim for the most ridiculous things,
yeah,
but are getting paid out. But then that does sort of take the edge off, and it makes people dismiss these claims of people who have had cancer and whose relatives had died because they've used these products,
yeah,
and it's been proven that these products have caused it.
yeah,
Especially when they can turn around and say, Roy Castle,
yeah,
childhood entertainer, he got cancer and died, and they blamed passive smoking
yeah.
in bars. There was absolutely no proof that that caused it,
No.
but they said, well, it must be that. This is a similar kind of thing, but these are proven.
Well, yeah, it was proven that there were asbestos in it.
Mm,
I mean, they probably don't make it with that now,
no,
but you know,
back in the day.
back in the day, we all thought, well, they're saying they replaced it by cornstarch or something. Fair enough, but that to me is an admission that they used to put it in.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I can't. No.
But there's nothing to say that cornstarch over 50 years, breathing it in, is
Mhm,
going to damage your
mhm.
lungs anyway. There's no long term
Well,
data with all of these
there
products.
isn't, but a lot of these claims are for ovarian cancer
Yeah,
because when women have obviously had a bath or a shower, they put the talc on them and you rub
yeah,
it on your tum or whatever, and
yeah.
it's got to be mean stuff, hasn't it?
Hmm.
Really, and we've all like shook it up our baby's nether regions, haven't
Well,
we?
the way it is now in business now, nobody can come to our place of work and do any work until to the building until
Mm,
they've seen the asbestos report, which shows
mm,
them where, if there is any in older
yeah,
buildings, where there's any asbestos, and if there is, they won't work in that area,
mm,
or it will end up costing you an absolute fortune
yeah,
because they've got to get all the asbestos control in.
yeah,
Now, these are guys that are working in it.
yeah.
So this product has been allowed in homes to be splashed, well, not splashed because it's not wet, but to be
Shook around
shook
everywhere.
around and patted
Yeah,
over babies' bodies, which is going into the mother's mouth.
yeah,
And you've not thought anything of it because it smells nice.
yeah.
It smells babyish. And there's a reason behind that. I remember um, seeing video footage and photos of when, like, you look at the health and safety now, back in the day when they used to promote asbestos, they used to sell asbestos to line your windows to make it look like it was snowing on the inside at Christmas.
Yeah,
That's what they used to sell.
yeah.
And it shows people working in factories. I've seen photos of people working in factories back in 50s and 60s, and there's asbestos absolutely
Mm,
everywhere. Not one of them is wearing any PPE at all.
mm.
Nothing to even limit the amount they breathe in. So, and this is why there's so many strict laws nowadays regarding asbestos.
Yeah.
But yet, there's this product that has been allowed for years to get away with it.
But they say their lawyer or spokeswoman for J&J, they continue to stand behind the safety of Johnson's baby powder, which is safe, does not contain asbestos, and does not cause cancer. So why have they paid out
Yeah.
on people that have got cancer from it?
Is it safe and effective like something else that we've already done?
Yeah. When they're protesting too much, there's something wrong, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's just said that, they've said they've stopped selling it's baby powder in the United States, as I've said before, and Canada. Canada's got away with it. And it will phase out sales of the products around the world in 2023, which is this year. So it should disappear from your shelves. So if you see any bargain talc on your pound shop, don't buy it.
No.
So I mean, they get sued all the time, these great big pharmaceutical companies, don't they? But when I were looking into J&J, the amount of times they've been sued over things, and they're still on the market, these things, but they've been sued and paid out. Um, Recent one, 2021, sun lotion, sunscreens
Oh yeah, I remember that.
containing benzene.
Mm.
That's been recalled because it's cancer causing. So you're putting this cream on you to stop getting what is it called, skin cancer
Skin
from the
cancer.
sun. But
But there's nothing to prove
there
that the
isn't.
sun gives you
Yeah,
skin cancer,
that's a different
sun
story.
cancer.
But this could,
Yeah.
because it's absorbed into your skin. The benzene is not a good thing. If anybody looks at what benzene is, it's not a good thing. And recently, there's been some reports that the dry hair shampoo, which is not J&J's, it's other people's, that got benzene in as well, and you spread it directly into your scalp, the dry shampoo. So people buy these things in good faith, and really, we should be told more. It's all right putting a little list of what chemical, but who knows?
No.
Not every second person's a graduate of
Well, I didn't want this one to go. I guess this is like a
yeah.
bigger discussion.
It's a massive discussion, but I'll
Uh,
just go through some of
yeah,
the other
finish this
things.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the benzene thing, it's a cancer causing chemical and it can cause leukemia and other cancers after long term exposure to high levels of it, which, if you're going on holiday for a fortnight and you're plastering it on 4 or 5 times a day, I would say that's long term exposure.
Mhm.
Over the years, there have been many product recalls of drugs. Some they are still selling now that has even caused death to people. But mind you, you could, it says in the packet of ibuprofen, you take too many, you could die. So these things are out there. It's up to us really to look at what they are and whether it's worth the risk taking them. They've got thousands of lawsuits pending at the moment, including their hip resurfacing system. They've got 550 lawsuits on that. The injuries caused by this is dislocation, loosening, metallosis, so that's metal poisoning from your new hip, and lots of revision surgeries.
I hope
Also,
I haven't got one because mine's titanium. Jeez.
Another hip replacement is the Pinnacle Cup. There's 7,056 lawsuits pending for that one. The injuries for that again is dislocation, metallosis again, loosening of it, and lots of surgeries. Also, which was of interest to me, a product called I don't know if I'm saying it right, Xarelto, and that's a blood thinner.
All right. Yeah.
And the number of lawsuits on that is 13,511. So
Wow.
the injuries coming from this blood thinner are severe and sometimes deadly bleeding events, blood clots. Now, they're to prevent blood clots. How do they cause blood clots? Wound leaks and infection. So that's just a few of the things, and they've got thousands of lawsuits pending, but all the stuff's still being used. Then those things that I've just said there have not been recalled.
No.
They're still out there.
And yet there's meant to be all these agencies out there that are meant to stop this from happening. These kind of products are not supposed to get into the
Yeah.
marketplace. But when they do get into the marketplace, they're not monitored while they're out there. And
Well,
they're not stopped while they're out there. If this is happening in America, why has it not been stopped and taken off the shelves now here? Why are they giving them 2 to 3 years to use up the stocks, all the warehouses that are full of it's all
mm,
basically based around business,
mm,
as everything is, which we know we know everything's
mm.
based around business.
But unless you're Joe Public like us, they're all innocent until proven guilty of what they've done.
Yeah.
No matter how much harm they cause people,
Hmm.
it's they've got money, they've got power, and that's how they get away with it.
Disgraceful.